Welcome to Thieves' Cant, a tabletop gaming podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Shane and Chris White.
And welcome back. Welcome in. Saturday, May 24th, Thieves' Cant. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
Fresh from the beach.
Feeling good. I put my toes into the sand. I walked out into the water, and I was rejuvenated. There was psychic healing that took place.
I can still smell the salt water in your hair.
That's why I haven't taken a bath.
Hey, we are back after a 2-week hiatus. Vacations are in the book. Graduations are done. And we are back into the swing of things in Thieves' Cant. So thanks for being with us once again today as we continue in our main segment, our exploits in the Forge of Creation. We have started building an adventure using the Tome of Adventure Design, and we're going to jump back into that today. Looking forward to it. We're also going to take a look at a fast-paced dungeon crawler card game. That's in our crowdfunding spotlight. But first, Chris, I know your juices are titillated right now at the mention of card game.
My juices have never been titillated, just for the record.
Let's get to the news. I don't know if you've heard this one. WizKids has issued a rare refund. They don't do this often. WizKids is refunding anyone who paid their hard-earned money for the pre-painted Baldur's Gate 3 character box set. Their statement reads, WizKids seeks to create products that enhance and add to the enjoyment of gameplay. We want our customers to build long-lasting fond memories around game nights with friends and family using our products. Unfortunately, we missed the mark on this goal with the D&D Icons of the Realm Baldur's Gate 3 character box set. Man, oh man, did they ever.
Understatement.
These they are pre-painted minis, and the promotional artwork, the promotional photography.
Looks great.
Yeah, they look amazing. All of your favorite Baldur's Gate 3.
I don't even expect them to be that good, right? Because that looked almost unreal. But, wow, these are bad. Like,
somebody posted the minis that they bought on a Reddit thread. InWorld then posted those pics on their site. And if you have the side-by-side of the promotional imagery with the actual product, we've all got some bad pre-painted jobs before.
Mm-hmm.
Words cannot quite capture.
I know it's a little insensitive, but I knew that it was a bad move to have the painting outsourced to the Parkinson's Research Center, and they absolutely proved me right.
Now, that release goes on to say, if you purchase this set through our online stores, we'll be offering a full refund to those who are unsatisfied with their set. They say if you purchased from your local game store, just take it back into the shop. Apparently, you'll get your refund there as well. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. The Lae'zel and the Gale miniatures in particular, like, I kind of want them.
Yeah?
They're so bad, I kind of want them. The beard, like, painted through his mouth.
Yes.
Like,
the
that
lopsided
is awesome.
beard.
Yeah. Gale kind of looking like a constipated Garfield or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was weird.
Now,
So,
what I would like to see is for Baldur's Gate 3, the game, to put out a mod in which you can make your characters look like these pre-painted abominations.
I like it. I like it.
You know, slap a skin on there.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a good idea.
All right, so get your refund if you've got one coming to you. D&D has announced the Book of Dragons comes out in August. This is not, however, a new rules supplement. This is coming from DK Books. It is a guide book. Some biological and environmental information about these dragons. 224 pages, lore packed in there as well. Mm-hmm. Written at least partially, they say, from the perspectives of Tiamat and Bahamut.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
So if you've ever wondered what it would be like if those two collaborated on a writing project together, now you'll know.
Well, not sure who managed that. I am excited about this, though. I mean, I'm kind of scared about any lore books that come out now for D&D because you never know what you're going to get. But I will say this kind of reminds me of the Dragonomicon.
A little bit.
From years ago, the third or 3.5 edition.
But you got stat blocks with that, right?
Well, there were stat blocks, but a lot of the book was just like lore and ecology and like really digging into them a little more. And so a lot more than like a monster manual entry.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I hope it's good. I'm definitely going to be looking into it when it comes out.
That is on the way again, coming in August. And speaking of new releases, Free League has announced 2 new books for Dragonbane. Arcand, City of Waves and Flames. That's one book. The other is the Book of Magic. Both launch on BackerKit on June 3rd. So Arcand, City of Waves and Flames is a rich, bustling setting. Over a dozen adventure sites included, spread across 5 districts. You get a number of campaign seeds. And then they say they've got stretch goals that will unlock additional adventure sites. And those will get unlocked because all of Free League's crowdfunding campaigns absolutely smash. So I anticipate every stretch goal they roll out will be unlocked. They go on to say the player characters will experience a fierce power struggle in the city's underworld, take on the role of demon hunters, and uncover secrets about Arcand's storied past that could change the city forever. So that's the Arcand City Guide. The other book, the Book of Magic, that's supposed to add 5 new schools of magic plus new spells. So that's news and notes. And speaking of an upcoming crowdfunding campaign, that segues us right into crowdfunding. All right, with 13 days left to go on Kickstarter, we've got a fun little monster hunting fantasy card game called Slay to Win. This one has a $5,000 goal. They are just shy of that. They're like at 49 something right now, again, with 13 days to fund. So I think they'll make it, but it could use your support if you're interested in such games. Again, fast playing, set for 3 to 5 players. They say there's a touch of light optional role playing because there's some story building that you do. So if you want to lean into that, you can, but the game doesn't require you to. Chris, in this game, you and your companions strike out to save your kingdom from the monsters who threaten its peoples, but you also secretly want to go down in history as the greatest monster hunter of all time. So you do want to outdo everybody else at the table. You're working together, but you want to be the best, right? You want to be the best?
Absolutely. Yeah, well, yeah.
All right.
This is every character I ever made.
So that means you need to score the killing blows against the monsters to gain as many trophy points as possible. You don't have
kill stealing.
Absolutely. That's what you're doing. That's the name of the game. Sit
stealing.
back, wait for the opportunity, then you get the killing blow and you get the trophy points. You create a character drawing a class and a quality card. You draw a story card to shape the world. A couple of monster cards will form a terrifying hybrid creature that you're facing, so there's a little randomization there. You never know quite what to expect. And then you work together to fight the monster while crafting a story. They say it's quick to play, easy to learn, and highly replayable. It's exactly what you want if you're sitting down for a quick, maybe a little one-shot with the family. Sounds fun.
Yeah. We're all working together, but we all want to be the best.
Slay to Win. And that brings us back around to our main segment. We are headed back into the Forge of Creation.
The Forge of Creation.
Okay, so last time in the Forge of Creation, we started to lay the groundwork for an adventure using Matt Finch and Mythmere Games' Tome of Adventure Design. We have defined just a few elements of this adventure, such as a hook, why the party might be interested, the key location where much of the adventure is going to take place, but there's still a lot to establish.
Really, the genius of this book is that there's a lot of ways you could go about this. And we've had to have some discussion and figure out how we wanted to go about it and the direction, because there's so many options, so many tables. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, a lot of different ways you can focus, just like there's a lot of different ways you can write any adventure.
Sure.
You can start with a storyline that you want to and build a world around it, or you can start with a world and just have the story evolve sort of naturally.
Yeah. I think where we have come to, because initially it felt like maybe we were just laying out a plot, but now it seems that we are building an adventure location rather than just a path, an entire mini setting to be explored that contains several different hooks within it. Sort
of sandboxy. I know that's kind of an overused term, but the forest has come alive.
Yeah. Well, let's back up there and kind of maybe share what's brought us to this sandbox mentality. We know that the hook that brings the players in, or at least one potential hook, could be that they are hired by someone. They need this forest mapped out. In fact, they might be even looking for a secret passage through this forest. Mm-hmm. We know that there is the legend of the Dark Dryad associated with this forest. We have no idea what that means.
We know there's someone else who has ill intent in the region, who wanted to take over. I don't remember if we really narrowed down their motivation.
No, the villain's plan tables that we were rolling on revealed some of this, that they're looking to bring about the downfall of the forest or something in it. It's largely undefined at this point.
Yeah.
What was it? Simple engineering was all that they needed to bring their plan to completion.
Fruition.
Yeah.
It's that's true. And so we kind of have these forces, of opposition that can deal with the party now, some things to look at. But what we started realizing as we dug into it was we didn't really know a lot about the forest itself. And so to just say it's a forest is pretty dull. We got a few places of interest, a fallen tree, a huge fallen tree,
right.
And there was a wicker basket in a clearing, which was really ominous. And along with the Dark Dryad, you started getting this really like dark forest kind of creepy vibe, which seemed pretty fun. But we realized, I think we need to dig a little deeper into the forest itself before we start to really
connect everything.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So all of those elements that we mentioned, they're still in play. They're on the board. Mm-hmm. We just don't know how they slot in exactly yet. So again, as Chris said, we're going to flesh out the forest a bit more. Our goal is to come up with maybe 4 to 5 adventure areas contained within the forest. And to do that, I think our first roll is going to be on the forest mapping features table. Now, last time we made 2 rolls on this chart. One resulted in an area with heavy, almost impassable undergrowth. Mm-hmm. And the other was the roll that gave us, as you mentioned, the massive fallen tree. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to use those 2 results for 2 of these mini locations. Mm-hmm. So we're going to skip that roll for those 2. We've already got them. So first, let's work with that area of almost impassable undergrowth. Let's stay right there for now. And let's add some forest dressing to it. So this will be a D100 roll.
53.
Okay, so this area of almost impassable growth, there's a line of ants or other insects going to or from something in this area.
Really? Interesting. This is your perception check right here, right?
Right.
You notice something. So imagine you're in this area of overgrowth and you're fighting your way through it. It's difficult terrain. It's a struggle. And you get out a little clearing and you notice just this carpeting of ants moving across the forest floor. It's almost scary. It's like the ground is moving. And how are you going to traverse across this? But then as you look, you see the ants carrying different things as they do. And on top of the pile, you see it looks like a human eyeball.
Oh,
getting carried down the stream with these ants, right?
Okay.
And imagine following that to this huge anthill and the investigation that goes on there. So that's like an encounter, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are these normal size ants? Are they giant ants? Or
I think it's cooler if they're normal. Do you remember?
But the hill itself
it's huge,
is monstrous,
almost unnaturally huge.
I like this.
Do you remember when we were kids, we had to read that book? It was like Linnegan versus the Ants or something like that.
You're going to have to refresh my memory on this.
It was just basically this island was being completely overrun with ants, and they were just like devouring everything that they crossed. Like if they came across you, you'd be reduced to bones in like an hour. Like it was just and they were just ants, like fire ants or something, but it was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was like this greater force that couldn't be overcome.
I did have this unnatural fear of fire ants when I was a kid, so maybe it did stem from this, and I've just forgotten about it.
Yeah, literature will get you every time.
Right?
You blocked it out, but
Yeah. Okay, I'm on board with this. I like it. So that is something that can be fleshed out later on in even greater detail. The adventure site of this giant ant hill and what might lair within it.
that's fun.
Yeah.
That sounds fun to me.
Okay, you content with that for now?
I sure am.
Let's revisit the massive fallen tree then, because that was the other mapping feature that we rolled last time. We know that there is a massive fallen tree. Let's give it some dressing.
90.
Okay, a roll of 90 means there is a small stream nearby.
Okay.
And, of course, the giant fallen tree itself.
You're right. Right.
I mean, I mentioned last time the possibility that this uprooted tree, reveals, a cavern into the earth. That could be a possibility.
Right. Yeah, this could be a dungeon entry. That would be really unique. Something like this just doesn't it sound like a Fey portal?
Ooh.
Doesn't it just sound like the sort of thing that would end you up in some place with red caps running around trying to stab you and all sorts of badness?
Does have a little of that vibe, too.
Yeah.
I think a cool way maybe to flavor whatever this cavern leads to might be to flip back to the front of this book and roll on the purpose-based location tables.
So it might answer some of those questions.
Or it might just create more questions. We'll see. Let's just find out. Give us a D100 roll.
I feel like I'm on an adventure right now. This is the game. 15.
Okay, 15. And give me one more.
16.
So if we combine those results, we get confluent cocoons. Confluent cocoons. There's a stream nearby, so maybe there's a confluence of streams here. Is there an underground stream that the uprooted tree is revealed?
Okay, so there's streams coming together, and there's a cocoon on an island, a small island, in amongst these small creeks.
We could abstract it a little more. What's the purpose of a cocoon?
To house something for transformation, usually.
Right. So confluent cocoons. If there's streams, and maybe where the streams meet, maybe there's some sort of transformative properties there for anyone who submerges themselves in the waters.
The stream itself is the cocoon.
Perhaps. The uprooted tree opens a cavern. Exploring the cavern leads you to this point where there's the confluence of streams underground.
I like that.
So I'm thinking there's some sort of, cavern system underground here. Maybe something lairs there. I don't know. Likely. This is ripe for fleshing out at a future point.
I like the underground cave system. I like the idea of this coming together and something in the center of all of this.
There's some sort of transformative power, magic, maybe associated with the water down in this system. Yeah. That's probably enough for now. We can come back and chew on that in the future and develop that more, unless you've got anything else you want to layer onto it.
No, but I like it. Be it the heart of darkness or the heart of the forest or maybe a powerful creature or a transformative chamber. I don't know. No. It's all, those are interesting.
Or we could very well come back and change our minds and say, no, the whole cocoon thing is very quite literal. There is a creature that is cocooned here. So whether we abstract that or not, I think we know that there is a cavern system there. There are streams under there. That creates a different look for this adventure site. If you want to change it up, you can go underground.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so that gives us 2. So we're going to go back to the forest mapping features and another roll there.
58.
A delicately cleared area. Okay, so what does that word delicately do for you? A delicately cleared area.
It makes me believe that there was intent. Someone took some time to manicure this spot.
Shall we add some dressing?
I think so.
Okay.
80.
Pile of bones.
Wow.
An intriguing scene. A delicately cleared area as if someone has done some landscaping here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a pile of bones left. This might be another good one to add a purpose to.
I agree.
All right. So 2D100 rolls.
2 of them. And you remember, I get paid by the roll.
That's right.
66.
Okay.
100.
Oracle wheel.
WHEEL?
Correct.
Okay. So when you think about a wheel, is it a stretch to say maybe a Stonehenge
Ooh, okay.
type of setup?
And that's how the bones are arranged?
Yeah, and that's where maybe it looks like some type of ritual has taken place.
So there could be many piles of bones.
Yes. Yeah.
Arranged in a specific way.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. And if you know how to read it,
mm-hmm.
then you can gain information.
Right. And maybe something happens here. Maybe there's a group that's gathering or an individual and they perform a ritual on a regular basis. Maybe these bones are new and maybe they're really old.
Maybe there's a mix.
Right. Yeah.
But whoever's performing the ritual could very well be the same ones who are maintaining the area.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Okay. That's interesting.
So it's weird. Everything you start to roll for, these random things, it seems like they fit. I know we're going to get an oddball though, but still.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
All right. So that gives us 3. I keep waffling between having 4 or 5 of these. What are you feeling?
I think we should do 5.
Okay. Then we're going to go back to the mapping features for another zone in the forest.
45.
So now we have an area with unusual plants. And I believe I've got just the table for this. The unusual plant table.
That does seem applicable.
2 rolls.
68. 64.
The plants are some sort of pod, and 64 was your second roll?
Yep.
They have minor healing properties.
Really?
Pods with minor healing properties.
Wow.
Now, the question is, does that give us enough information for adventure in this area?
I don't know. Can we roll on another table? I just kind of like rolling on tables at this point. I'm going to be honest.
We haven't rolled any dungeon dress or any forest dressing.
There you go. 11.
A broken woodsman's axe.
I'm not sure how to tie that all together yet.
There's that oddball you mentioned.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it works, though. I mean, a broken axe, there's always a mystery there.
Sure.
Where's the woodsman? What's happened?
Yeah, what actually
Is
happened?
there some violence here, or is it just a woodsman broke his axe and went to go get another one?
Are these pods that have the capacity to heal? I mean, there's some value there, right? For anyone who might know about these. Are these protected?
Oh, yeah.
Does something protect? I think something protects these pods.
Yeah.
And therein is the adventure. I don't think it's as simple as just, hey, we can come back here and just pluck some of these and we're good to go.
Right.
It's not that straightforward. So for now, I think we can just make a note of the region containing these pods. There is a broken woodsman's axe, and we know that something that we need to define protects these.
Yeah.
Could be benign, could be malevolent. I don't know.
Let's go with malevolent.
Lean into that. All right. Let's settle up on our 5th and final locale of the day. One more roll on the forest mapping features table.
75.
Here we go. Isolated ruins.
Oh, yeah.
Small, such as ancient statues.
We'll be the judge of how small these ruins are.
Yeah, it's our prerogative.
That's right.
We can bend the rules.
That's right.
All right, but we know there are isolated ruins. Referencing the Tome of Adventure Design, there are tables in here that will tell us what they call a capsule backstory, which don't tell the story of the entire adventure. They just tell you something that happened in a part of the adventure area. So maybe that's something that we can use to define some elements about these ruins. And then maybe that'll inform like what these ruins actually are. So let's find out maybe an item that's tied to it, its relationship to that location, and see where that takes us. I'm going to have you make several D100 rolls. Go ahead and make that first.
All right. 95.
A vehicle, possibly with cargo.
A wagon?
Makes sense for our world, that this could be a wagon, some sort of cart, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we can go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, next roll. We'll determine this wagon's relationship to the location.
What if it's a submarine? Wow, right? Mind blown.
Right, yeah. How'd this get here?
41.
Okay, so the wagon or cart's relationship to the ruins, you said 41?
Uh-huh.
It was created here and remains here.
Wow. Interesting. What if it's a mine cart?
Oh, okay. That could be.
You know?
So the ruins of a mine.
Maybe somebody was mining in the ruins.
Ooh, okay. Now we're going somewhere. That's a cool thought.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah, pencil that one in.
Yep.
Now there's the other factor involved. Another D100 roll.
All right. 1.
A long-standing hatred or feud.
Oh.
If it's a mine, there's been greed and feuds associated with that for as long as time, right? So that makes perfect sense.
Loot, treasure. Maybe the ruin itself is a result of some long-standing ancient hatred.
That could be too.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, one more roll then on this table. We're going to find out like when. We know that the wagon was created and remains here.
20.
But how long ago? 20. How old is the mine or the ruins potentially? 100 years, according to that roll of 20.
So
a
not
century
terribly
has passed.
ancient. Or at least that could be the mine cart or the ruins, right?
Sure, yeah. So maybe the mine has been non-functional for 100 years.
Mm-hmm. The ruins could be much older. Whoever was plundering the ruins set up a mine maybe to pull stuff out.
Right.
Maybe there was something worth mining here.
Right.
It wasn't just plunder. Somebody was here a long time ago.
All right, so that's 5 sites within the larger site of the forest. How do you feel about these so far?
I'm pretty excited. I want to go explore these myself.
Yeah. Again, we don't have any strong connections between all of these disparate elements yet. We don't know how it all ties together. We don't know who the evil force behind the plotted downfall of the forest is. Yet to be determined. And we will do that in future episodes of Thieves' Cant. Chris, are you good enough with this to call it quits for today?
For today, but I'm ready to get back to it next week.
All right. We are back in the Forge of Creation next week as we continue to flesh out this forest and the mystery that is the legend of the Dark Dryad, what it all means, how it all comes together. This is fun.
Yeah.
We don't ever get to play, but man, we like to design.
We're going to play today.
We are playing today.
We didn't mention that, but we are playing immediately afterwards. I'm going to kill them all.
We got brand new characters we're bringing to the table today.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. Well, hey, if you've got any response to anything you heard on today's show or want to get in touch with us here at Thieves' Cant, we've got a few different ways that you can reach out. You can email thievescantcast@gmail.com. Find us on social at Thieves' Cant Cast, on YouTube at Thieves' Cant Podcast. Does that do it?
Sounds good to me.
All right. I think our boxes are checked. So we'll see you next week. We are back on our normal schedule. So have a great week of gaming ahead and a great week of life. Go out and live it.
It's very inspiring. Yeah, I like it.
We seek to inspire. All right.
Find your ocean.
So long.
Thank you for listening to Thieves' Cant. Email thievescantcast@gmail.com.